Good evening and welcome to the show. My name's Neil Reynolds and this is Sports Weekly. Welcome to Sports Weekly and another great week from the world of sport. Right, so what's coming up on tonight's show? Firstly, a roundup of what's been going on over the past week around the sporting world. We talk to Rich Kite from British Weightlifting. Then we take a look behind the scenes as we talked to the Sahara Force India drivers Sergio Perez, Nico Hulkenberg and development driver Alfonso Celis Jr. to see what their thoughts were as they started this season's Formula One World Championship. And finally, we hope to leave you inspired as we look at the amazing story of the Change Foundation and the work they do through their Hit the Top programme. But first, here's the latest news and gossip. Britain's Andy Murray, well, he beat Novak Djokovic to win his first ATP World Tour Finals title on Sunday and will now end 2016 as the tennis world #1. With the year-end top ranking on the line, Murray won the much-anticipated finals 6-3, 6-4 at London's O2 Arena. Murray extended his career-best winning run to 24 matches, and the victory also ends Djokovic's 4-year run of success at the tournament and the Serb's bid to equal Roger Federer's record of 6 titles. India bowled England out for 158 in their second innings to complete a 246-run win in the second test on the 5th day in Visakhapatnam. From 87 for 2, England lost 8 wickets for 66 runs, with Jayant Yadav taking 3 for 30 and Ravichandran Ashwin taking 3 for 52. India lead the 5-match series 1-0, with the third test in Mohali beginning on Saturday. India captain Virat Kohli was voted man of the match with his fine scores of 167 and 81. Diego Costa's 10th goal of the season moved Chelsea top of the Premier League as their 6th straight win saw off Middlesbrough at the Riverside Stadium. After an even start, Chelsea upped the tempo and deservedly led at the break when Costa reacted quickest to drill in a loose ball inside the Borough box. The Blues continued to create chances, with Pedro going closest when he smacked a shot against the crossbar. Borough's best chance came when Alvaro Negredo's 78th minute volley was saved. It was the only time the home side had forced Blues keeper Thibaut Courtois into a serious stop as they lost for the first time in 4 matches. Chelsea leapfrogged Liverpool and Manchester City to go a point clear at the top, while Borough remained 1 point above the relegation zone in 15th place. Now, at White Hart Lane in Saturday's game of the day, this was played out between Tottenham and West Ham United. The Hammers took the lead through a Michail Antonio goal and they led at half-time. An equaliser from Harry Winks on his Premiership debut led manager Pochettino having this to say.
It was very emotional because he scored, he played fantastic, he played like was his first start on Premier League with us, and he showed a big character and played well, always forward, very dynamic on the pitch. I think it was fantastic.
Not long after the Winks goal, referee Mike Dean gave a penalty for a pull on Winston Reid and Lanzini buried it from the spot. Well, the clock ticked down and West Ham grasped defeat from the jaws of victory as Tottenham talisman Harry Kane scored an equaliser, pulling the away team back for a second time. Then, with 90+1 on the clock, another penalty was given, this time for a foul on Heung-min Son, and Harry Kane slotted past Darren Randolph to take all 3 points. After the game, West Ham manager Slaven Bilic was asked what his team should have done.
The best way to close the game is to score a goal, but we should have keep the ball better when we had the ball, and also being closer to them.
Tottenham Hotspur still remain unbeaten in the league and sit 5th in the table. Now, some of the stories making the headlines today. Chelsea manager Antonio Conte has not ruled out former Blues midfielder Frank Lampard returning to the club in a coaching capacity if the ex-England international decides to quit playing. Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho says 31-year-old striker Wayne Rooney's lack of pace was the reason he was left out of the starting lineup for Saturday's 1-1 draw with Arsenal. AC Milan will reportedly make a move for Jack Wilshere in the transfer window, who is on loan at Bournemouth from Arsenal, when the 24-year-old midfielder will have 1 year left on his Gunners contract. And finally, sources found out that the Argentinian Football Association had not paid their security staff. So Barcelona player Lionel Messi stepped in and he made the payment instead. What a nice guy. Coming up this week, from the 25th to the 27th of November, the Tennis Davis Cup final between Croatia and Argentina takes place. Also on the 25th to 27th, we have the final Grand Prix of the Formula One season in Abu Dhabi. The 26th sees the third test start between India and England in Mohali, and there is also a full programme of Champions League and Europa League football taking place tonight, Wednesday and Thursday. And that was this week's News and Gossip. Now, on this week's Sport of the Week segment, we have something a little bit different. I'm joined today by Rich Kite, who's the Regional Development Officer for Greater London for British Weightlifting. Rich, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what it is you actually do here in Greater London.
So my role is to try and develop weightlifting as a sport. So that's supporting the current clubs that are ongoing and sort of bringing not just the talented, but also the participation level. So we're also trying to help encourage more growth. So things like schools, people who want to start more recreationally in different communities. So yeah, just trying to aid the growth of the sport, make it more acknowledged, even working with partners such as other sporting bodies, just trying to get it out there.
Excellent. So I know that you've got a gym or like a hub at Oakland School here in London.
Yeah.
And you seem to be working quite a lot with the local Muslim community, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about the kind of stuff you're doing with the Muslim community?
Yeah, definitely. So we have my club, Oakland's Weightlifters, is based in Oakland School. That's my main hub, which has links directly to 3 other schools and indirectly to another 2 more, which they're basically athletes that come from their school over to Oakland's or various schools. So those schools are all in Tower Hamlets. It's combined with the Tower Hamlets Youth Sport Foundation, so that's on their behalf. Now all of the schools, it sometimes will be delivered within curriculum or extra curriculum. I will coach them the basics of how to learn weightlifting. Should they wish to sort of continue that development, they will come to Oakland's, which is, like I said, the main hub, where it's more the development towards, not necessarily competition, but more of development of performance on their own will. So they might want to further be involved in that sport, develop themselves, and if they wish to compete, we can do competitions as well and so forth, so yeah. Excellent.
So I know you've kind of got 3 protégés, so to speak.
Yeah.
You've got Taslima Begum.
Yep.
There's Upaida Chowdhury and
yeah.
Afreen Akhtar.
That's right,
Could you tell us something about the 3 of them?
Yeah, so Afreen, I'll start off with Afreen. She's one of my youngest. She's
only 14, right?
She's 14, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. She started about a year ago now, and she, in a similar position as you actually, she did a news report. She actually came and did a newspaper report for the school. Cool. And she took she interviewed Taslima, and from the interview, she said, like, oh, that's really cool. She looked at Taslima as an inspiration, I hope she doesn't mind me saying, and has been here ever since. So she's pretty engaged now. We do some more one-on-one coaching, so her performance is going up. She's done a couple of competitions for me now, I think, so she's getting the exposure, but we don't look at her for any performance. We're just more of a, let's show you what competition is, and then we can develop you over the years, make it more appropriate for their age. Ubaida, he is from a different school, so John Cass School. He comes over to Oakland's probably twice, 3 times a week sometimes, trains with us. And he started off with sort of no experience to weightlifting, very small sporting background, really engaged with it. He got exposed by his school teacher, who I'd been working at this school for 1 year already, and the school teacher had been really supportive. And he came to school as a sixth former, and they said, you know, you should give it a go. And he did, and he's been here ever since. He qualified for the British Youth Nationals, which he placed second at. So, wow. He's exceptional work for that. I was under a year, I think it was at that
That's
point.
Pretty
so
impressive.
Really, really good.
But
really,
then you've
really
got to move on to Miss Begum.
Yeah,
Miss Taslima Begum,
Tass
who is doing great
incredible.
things, I think.
Absolutely incredible. She started off no experience really in majority of sports. She'd done sports, she's sporty, but not really committed to an individual sport alone. She had to do it as a part of a GCSE. It was a module on her PE GCSE, and she kind of just showed a lot of promise from the word go. And I worked closely with her, and I never forced her to do anything. There's always options, like, you know, do you want to come and do these extra sessions? I've run these sessions. She always came along. She's pretty much, you know, never missed a session without actually saying to me, like, I can't attend that. So the commitment's, you know, very high. After a year of being a regional camp, she actually we did a few competitions, and she qualified to the standard of the national squad. Within that year, she achieved a number of medals. So she got a regional champion, British juniors, bronze or silver? I think it's bronze. And then this year, she won English championships. She came third. She did the youth championships. British youth championships came second as well, which qualified her to compete in Poland for the European Championships.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, due to an injury, we weren't able to go to that. Sure. But fortunately, prior to that, she was invited, because of her success, she was invited to attend the European Cup, which is an international event, which is in Malta. So she went along to that instead, represented GB at that. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. She loved it. Still a part of the national setup now, so still does the camps. Now we're working towards the English Championships, and kind of fingers crossed towards Commonwealth Games selection at the minute.
Wow, obviously, because Commonwealth Games is Australia next time, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
Gold Coast. Yeah.
Gold Coast, that's right, yeah. What about Tokyo 2020?
Oh, that's the dream, right? Yeah. She'd definitely be over the moon to go towards that. Definitely.
Now, as a coach in weightlifting, obviously it's been in the news left, right, and centre about Russia this and Kazakhstan that. There have been 32 weightlifters stripped of medals since the 1976 Olympics right up to the present day. Do you think that has a detrimental effect on people wanting to take up the sport?
I think it's positive in regards to the IWF, so the International Weightlifting Federation, being a lot more firmer on drugs cheats. Effectively, you know, if you're cheating, you're not going to get away with it now, and they are sort of nailing it down. And I actually think that's more of a positive effect, because, you know, weightlifting may have this stigmatism around it of that involvement, and now it's sort of cleaning up a lot and saying, actually, no, we don't. So, yeah, I think it's only positive moving forward. With
our viewers out there now, how can they get involved with British weightlifting? How do they get in touch with you? Where can they find out more information?
Yeah, so our website contains a majority of information out there. We've got a club finder on there, so if people do want to, you know, just give it a try, find weightlifting, see what it's about, they can go on the club finder, type in their postcode, and find the nearest one. All of our contact details are on there. So if somebody's a personal trainer and they want to become more qualified and they want to coach it, we've got a qualification structure, so they can join up and get qualified and go out there and start delivering. Majority of our stuff's on there, and details of myself and my counterparts across the nation are all available, so they can discuss.
Excellent. Rich, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
And as Rich said, you can find out more information on the British Weightlifting website. And that's all this week for our Sport of the Week. Now, each week, we visit sports teams, grounds and organisations to try and show you the things you wouldn't normally see as we go behind the scenes. Now, this week we took a trip to Silverstone to speak to the drivers for the 2016 season at Sahara Force India Formula One racing team. Take a look.
In 2016, the season is knocking on our door. It's about to kick off next week, and yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it. It's been quite a long winter, so it's good to get back in the car, you know, get back to racing.
We all know that we have a great challenge ahead of us, so definitely looking forward a lot, and I really hope that we can improve what we've done last year and get a couple of podiums this year. That will be fantastic.
Really excited regarding this 2016 year. I think a lot of good things are coming up. Really excited as well to be the first one in the car. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
In all my career, I've never had a car that is capable of fighting for podiums or something like that. So I really hope that with this car we can do something special.
I think we've done some good steps over the winter with the car. Obviously now it's time to measure ourselves against the competition in testing and then Melbourne and the first couple of races. But like I said, I feel optimistic and confident that we'll have a good saying in the race and that we'll be able to challenge for good results.
I'm very happy at the team. I'm definitely, I mean, it's a team that really listen to drivers, really take care of drivers, and yeah, I've said many times, you know, I'm very thankful for the opportunity Fiji has given me in the past, and yeah, I look forward for many more to come, and especially this year to have a lot of success together.
Yeah, 5 years with Force India. It's definitely home for me. It's been some really, great years, great people to work with. I think we have a super team together and a very good team spirit. You know, everybody's always very happy, very motivated, even though, sometimes we have difficult times that we need to fight through. Everybody's still up for it and, pushing to the max. So I really enjoy being part of this team and, also look forward to keep growing with this team. Perfect.
Hulkenberg and Perez have been steady this season, with Force India picking up 2 third-place finishes in Monaco and at the European Grand Prix in Baku. Abu Dhabi will be the last race of the season, and not only that, but the last race for Nico Hulkenberg in the Sahara Force India car as he moves on to Renault for the 2017 season. Each week, we look at the different ways people are inspiring the sports generation of tomorrow. In our Inspired segment this week, we bring you the Change Foundation, and we found out about their initiative, Hit the Top.
Hi, my name's Andy Dalby-Welsh. I'm the Director of Operations and Partnerships at the Change Foundation. The Change Foundation uses sport and dance to transform the lives of marginalised young people. I got involved with the Change Foundation in my early 20s, and following having developed an eye condition which left me registered blind, I was fortunate enough to get involved with the England blind cricket team, and it made me realise that I actually wanted to create opportunities through a programme called Hit the Top that gave other kids with a disability the chance to play like anybody else.
My name's Daniel, I work for the Change Foundation and I manage the Hit the Top programme. We work with people with visual impairment, we work with people with a physical disability, a learning disability, behavioural problems and those with ASD as well. I created a programme that works just with those with ASD, and the reason I created that programme is through all of my time on Hit the Top, sport sort of encouraged me to come out of myself a little bit. It's just like, and develop how I was as a human being and how I am today.
I joined the Hit the Top programme in 2008, and since then I've started playing VR cricket, learned how to do that because I never used to do any VR sport before that, but it's really helped me to build my confidence and self-esteem.
Hello, my name's Bucky Donovan. I've been involved with Hit the Top since 2008. My best thing is most probably the Jamaica tour in 2010. We took 2 cricket teams, a visually impaired team and a playing an MLD side to Jamaica. To be honest, it was a life-changing experience.
I was a very shy kid, and in the first 2 years, my life changed for the good, and it gave me the confidence and the belief to do what I'm doing today. That is to be a cricket coach for Middlesex Cricket County Board, and that's something asked me 10 years ago that I would be doing. I thought I would never be doing that.
I started 10 years ago at school through a schools programme. Then after a schools programme, I joined one of the Hit the Top clubs. Then after the club, I was there for a couple of years. I went on to an apprenticeship scheme, and I was on that for a year. And lucky enough, I got a full-time job out of it. And I've been working for the last 6 years delivering cricket and multi-sports in different schools. Last year we went to India to set up Hit the Top in India. Lucky enough we managed to get our funding, and we're going to go back out there and deliver more cricket in India and Mumbai.
I got involved with a charity a long time ago through the Hit the Top programme, and I went on to play for the England visually impaired cricket team. The opportunities that you can get through Hit the Top are life-changing. The Change Foundation, the Hit the Top programme offer young people so many opportunities, and they don't always take the first one. I know I didn't. It took me a while to really realise where I was going in life.
It's been a great success. It's been running for 10 years, and we've managed to deliver programmes in London, across the UK and around the world. And one of the proudest things about the programme is that we've supported young people to not only play cricket, to represent their country, but to become active, employed members of society who are very proud of themselves and their achievements.
The Change Foundation engages with disabled and at-risk young people facing some of the world's toughest challenges through the power of sport and dance. They have a passionate and dedicated team who work to make a real and lasting difference in young people's lives. So, if you want to find out more about the Change Foundation, you can visit their website at www.thechangefoundation.org.uk. So that's almost all we have time for tonight, but just to remind you, you can get in touch with us on social media. Please keep tweeting us the photos of where you're watching your sport this week to @ICSportsWeekly, or on the Sports Weekly Facebook page, or email us at sports@islamchannel.tv. Coming up on next week's show, we go behind the scenes and find out how rugby league is alive and kicking right here in London, and be inspired as we travel to Manchester and meet an incredible young man called Sean Malone and see his journey with the help of the Manchester United Football Club Foundation. Thanks for joining us here on Sports Weekly. Have a great sporting week, whatever you're watching. We'll see you, same time, same place, next week. Bye for now.